Oh, yes, we are live once again. Here it is. I'm your host, Keenan Hudson, the Reentry Connect podcast. Yeah, I'm here to give y'all some key pointers today, key pointers to a successful reentry. But those who've been living in life as well can adapt to these pointers as well. Again, it's Keenan Hudson. I'm going to get right into it. But before I do, give a shout out GPS Transportation here in the city. Get with them if you need wheelchair transportation, if you need to get around in a shuttle bus, you need to transport children, if you need anything, luxury transport, if you need party bus, feel free to contact them, gpstransportation.net, 215-774-9913. Another shout out to One Day at a Time. Old Dad, Mr. Mel Wells, we appreciate you at 215-226-7860. You can reach Mr. Mel Wells. They have a lot of different support groups. They have reentry support. They have recovery support and all the above. So if you know somebody that needs some reentry help and things like that, you can feel free to reach out to them. One Day at a Time, Mr. Mel Wells. So back to the Reentry Connect podcast. Again, we're going to start with some key pointers in life. A lot of people have been inboxing me. They've been asking me, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? Well, if my loved one wants to do this, my loved one wants to do that, how do they start? What type of things should they be focusing on? All right, first, it's going to start with the individual. The very first thing is nobody can change anybody else. All right, it's going to start with the individual. It's going to start with you. If it's you, it's going to start with you. I'm speaking to you that's on the camera. If you're listening from a jail cell, if you're listening from a recovery house, if you're listening from, out there on the streets, wherever you are, it's going to start with you. You have to put in your mind that you want to change. I'm going to stress that enough to people. It's up to you if you want to change. Nobody's going to come and wave a magic wand around you. Nobody's going to come and say, oh, I'm going to help you change. Well, they can help. They can be a part of, your change. They can help you, assist, and guide you. But at the end of the day, it's totally up to you to change. All right? So, always remember, everybody is different. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. You're running your own race. Period. Do never compare yourself to anybody. All right? Because I tell people all the time, what worked for them that way. It didn't work for you that way, and it didn't work for me that way. All right? So always remember, never compare yourself with anybody else. So one of the first key pointers that a person must put under their belt and have on their radar when they're coming home or when they're getting themselves situated, one of the first things is having some stabilization, a living quarters, keeping a roof over your head, having somewhere to sleep at night, somewhere where you're not going to be cold, somewhere where you're not, look, living on the street, that's a choice. You have plenty of shelters out here, You have plenty of reentry programs. You have plenty of recovery houses, places that will take you in to get yourself on the right track. Again, some people battle addiction. Some people are battling different types of different challenges. Everybody is different. So for some people, it may take a little more of a strenuous check-in for them to start the transformation. All right. But that's number one. You got to have somewhere to live, got somewhere to rest your head, your stabilization. That's one of the key pointers in building a foundation for yourself. All right. Again, I'm not just speaking to individuals just coming home from prison, even though it is geared towards a lot of individuals that's coming home from prison. However, it's geared towards anybody that wants to set a good path in their life. Yes, we're going to touch on a few things. Yes, the investment part and things like that. People wanted to know these things. So that's what we're going to be touching on. All right. Number two, after you get your living quarters situated, wherever it is, as long as you got a place to rest your head, you can focus on your employment now. Yes, your employment is very important because this is what's going to bring you in money. It's going to bring you in some funds, the finances to support your life. All right? You got to have a place where you want to work. Some people want to work 2 jobs. Some people want to work 3. Whatever suits and fits you, that's what you have to adapt to. Just because such and such has 2 jobs and working a night shift, that doesn't mean you have to. You have to find out what you're suitable for, what you're compatible for, what you're able to endure. All right? A lot of times people may have certain jobs that may be different than others. Some may be strenuous than others. Some may be harder than others. Some can lay back and kick their feet back and chill. So it's different than others. But you're going to have to work. All right? You have to work. So with that being said, even with working, right, you just got to be prepared as well that, with the working, usually when you're working full-time, they offer benefits. So along with the benefits comes your health care. So you have to have health insurance. Even if you are searching for a job, you may be on Medicare, Medicaid, whatever the case may be. It's okay to be on welfare to start off. I started off on welfare. It was okay. Then eventually you go to the marketplace. But usually if you find a full-time job, which an average person is usually going to work a full-time job, because that's what you need to sustain yourself, even if it is 40 hours, usually that comes with benefits. It comes with health insurance. So it's up to you to pick what the right health insurance you have. Whether you have children, they're going to if you're putting them on a plan, whatever the case may be, that's totally up to you. You have to know your situation. So coming with the employment is going to come along with the health insurance. Full-time employment is recommended because that's the only time it's going to come, because usually part-time employees don't usually, in any company, usually part-time employees don't get full coverage with their insurance. They don't get coverage at all. A lot of times you have to go to the marketplace yourself and pick out insurance. All right? So far we had the living. Next we had the job. Now, when you get that living quarters and then you get that job, now just because you have that job, you have an income coming in, you have money coming in, that does not mean you have to go and spend the money. All right? You're trying to get on your feet. You're trying to focus in the right direction. You're trying to reform your mind. It says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Meaning those things are in the past. Bye-bye. You know what I'm saying? Behold, the new things have come. New things have come. All right? So now you want to know that when you have that job, when you have that money coming in, you want to know how to manage your money. Yes, that deals with knowing how to save. Yes, that deals with knowing when to give and when not to. Yes, that deals with putting up things for a rainy day. Yes, that deals with probably trying to know how to invest and do certain things. All right? So that's the third thing. Getting a bank account. Understanding how to save. A bank can go many different ways. But for right now, for the fundamentals' sake of re-entering or reforming your life, for fundamental sake, you want to be able to have a bank account. Please don't tell me you don't have a bank account. Please don't tell me Chime is your former bank account. Please don't tell me that Cash App is your former bank account. That's very childish. Yes, if Chime and Cash App is your former bank account and debit card, that's very childish. You should reconsider the way you're thinking. That's childish in a lot of ways. So you want to have a steady bank account, hopefully the jobs today, they give direct deposit. Some don't. It's okay. You can still go to the bank and put your bank, put your check into the bank. You can still go to the bank and deposit your check in the bank. You can still get your bank, your check and go to a check cashing place. You cash your check and put your money in the bank. Then say spend it on something in the window and stuff like that. No, you save your money. You manage your money. Very important. Alongside with that is going to come credit. The reason why I won't touch a lot on credit right now because it comes. But that's one of the things you want to start considering. So here it is. You had your living quarters. You had your job. You had your bank account. Learning how to save. All right? And what I said with the job comes the health insurance. Remember that. All right? Now, when you're dealing with the credit, you'll learn the fundamentals of that. But again, you don't have to learn about that right away, right now. That's not, it's imperative in life, yes. But for fundamental sake, you don't have to worry about that right now. All right. So we had the living, we had the job, we had the bank account, we talked about the saving. Now, somebody had asked me, how come I can't go right into entrepreneurship? Look, by all means, if you have the support to go into entrepreneurship, feel free. Feel free to do that. However, just know this, most business startups fail. A lot of people are not successful until after the second, third, fourth business of trying. I always encourage people, yes, I understand you want to do entrepreneurship, but you have to work first. You have to build yourself up first. A lot of people ask me, well, how come you got this, you got that? Well, y'all didn't see the first 4 years why I had to just work, sleep, home, sleep, work, home, sleep, eat, sleep, go to sleep, wake up 2 in the morning, not get home to 5 in the afternoon, evening. Like, it takes time to build up. So stop thinking that people could come home and just want to chill and just expect money. No, money don't grow on trees. Reality is real. Yes, reality is real. Nobody gonna just hand you money. Nobody getting no handouts out here. Or you gonna find out real quick. Yeah, you may be willing to give to people. People gonna be willing to take. But guess what? Takers don't have a limit. But givers should have a limit. Right? But that's another topic. We're not going to touch on that. But I just want you to be going back to with the entrepreneurship. It's okay to get into entrepreneurship. If you have the support behind you to do that can sustain you while you're getting yourself up, hey, feel free. But just know that struggles come with that as well. So don't be crying and say, oh, my vision not coming true or it's not doing it. Look, ain't nobody tell you not to work. Ain't nobody tell you not to, go try to put up, some side hustles together and try to grab that bag. That will come, but you got to make sure your foundation is correct. And if the support around you is correct, you can pursue it. You can pursue entrepreneurship. It's totally understandable. It's okay. Next thing, people are talking about investing. Investing, yes, is a huge pointer. That is something very important to look into. Now, you don't have to invest right away. You do not have to invest right away. It's not an imperative thing that you invest right away. I'd rather you save first, get yourself together, prepare yourself. Yes, Mr. James Baker, I appreciate it, Doctor. Yeah, I appreciate you support me. So I'm just explaining a lot of these key pointers. So when you talk about investing is a great thing, especially if you're trying to create residual income, if you're trying to create passive income, if you're trying to have some lucrative money coming in over time where you're not just relying on earned income. It's okay. It's okay to do that. But make sure you are right first. Make sure that foundation, remember the foundation. The key foundation is in line first. You don't want to build your house on sand. You want to build your house on that rock, on that brick, a solid foundation. So when the wind comes, it won't blow over. You want to be able to build yourself up in a way that, once, that you're established in a way and firm, nothing can knock you down. And even if you do have a setback, it'll only just be for a little season. It'll only be for a night because joy going to come in the morning. So, again, investing is good. Investing in rental property is good. But all this stuff comes with saving. It's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep, how much money you save, how much money you utilize in the correct way. You got to know how to manage money. Managing money is like one of the things that's never taught in the household growing up. Leveraging money to the correct, degree is one of the things that's never taught in households growing up. So this is something that you got to really visualize. You got to understand. You got to grow. There's plenty of opportunity. Learning platforms out here. Utilize YouTube. YouTube is a great book. Not a great book, but is a great platform to learn off of. Instagram, TikTok. A lot of these places have places you can learn. Book. I just actually ordered another book. It actually says, no, it's not what you think. It says, I will teach you to be rich, right? It doesn't say, oh, I'm going to teach you how to make $1 million right now. No, it's teaching you like some of the firm foundations of how to leverage your money in a correct way, putting budgets together, what you should have here, what you should have there. Why isn't this over here? Or why isn't this over there? People a lot of times are just all over the place. I mean, we've all been there before. We've all been over the place. We all been, doing things we shouldn't have done. We spent money we shouldn't have spent and things like that. But it gives you the perspective of where to go at in life when it comes to managing. And this is a video right now. If you know somebody right now, y'all bet you like it, you share it to people, somebody that needs to hear it. Now, this stuff is some relevant information. This is some relevant information. People need to hear this. So getting to the investment part, again, investing is great, but make sure you are great first. Make sure you have your whole living quarters. Make sure you have your job down. Make sure you have a bank account. Save, establish a little credit, things like that. Then you can start investing. When you invest in with the money that you can afford to lose. You know what I mean? And you got different types of things you might want to invest with. Me, I prefer solid assets. You know what I'm saying? I prefer real estate. I prefer houses because it's something you can touch, something that's tangible. I don't prefer, even though I do invest with stocks as well, but I don't prefer to invest in stock because it's liquid. You can have it in your hand, it can just vanish out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So, but when you get into a lot of the banking, dealing with other investments, index funds, and, when you're dealing with different mutual funds and hedge funds, and it's just a lot of stuff that goes very deep. And there's a lot of things that I don't know. It's a lot of things that I'm still learning. I'm still understanding because I was never taught this. I didn't go to school for this. But however, I'm learning from some of the greats. I'm studying some of their styles. I'm studying some of the things that they might invest in. And again, nobody's perfect. I've made mistakes. I've fell short times. It happens in life. But you live to master and to do it again. When you learn from that lesson, when you make that mistake, because what good is not making mistakes in life and be somebody that you think you know everything. Nah, not at all. You want to be able to learn from the mistakes. You want to be able to move on. You want to constantly keep growing. You want to be able to, again, learn from other people's mistakes is probably the best thing to do as well. You know what I mean? So, real quick, is there anybody in the chat? If y'all want to drop anything in the chat, feel free now. Again, like I said, I appreciate Dr. Baker, James Baker. Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, we're going to be having you on here soon. Yes, Dr. James Baker, great mentor, teaches on leadership and everything. Y'all got to tune in to his leadership classes as well. Very powerful. We appreciate you. Yeah. So, again, I just gave y'all some of the fundamentals. I'm not going to be on all night. I'm just giving y'all some of the fundamentals of the breakdown. Again, I told y'all, you're going to have your living quarters, your stabilization is going to have to come first. These are some of the key pointers. Your job, you're going to have your employment down, preferably, if you can do the full time, that's great. Because with the full time, of course, they offer you benefits with your health insurance comes with. So your health insurance is important as well. You got to take care of yourself just in case things happen. You never know. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to walk around naked. The next thing you know, you got a big hospital bill that you can't cover and you'll be in debt. It's going to be in collections and so on and so on. Getting your bank account together. Making sure you have your bank account, again, there's a lot that goes with banking. It's advanced banking as well. But getting your stuff as a steady flow where you can save your money, have a debit card, have a checking account, savings account, whatever the case may be. Great. Establish a little credit. Start building that. That's the other thing. I mentioned about the entrepreneurship. A lot of people, you don't have to go right into entrepreneurship because it's not guaranteed money. It's something that has to be calculated. It's something called calculated risk. If your foundation is correct from the previous points that I just mentioned, then you can dibble and dabble on that. Then you could dibble and dabble in investing. Investing money that you can afford to lose. Why go throw away your whole life savings? Instead of going to the casino, you going to the casino spending money, you're supposed to be saving that. Invest that in something that's going to benefit you in the long run. Instead of you go buying those pair of Jordans that you want, invest that in something that could benefit you in the long run. Instead of you buying that $1,000 purse just to impress some people that don't even like you, no, instead, save that and invest it in something that's going to benefit you in the long run. So these are a lot of things I tell you all the time. These are some things that are just not taught, especially in the reentry sector. We were so used to getting fast money. We were so used to hurry up, piling things up, and just living for the moment. No, your values have to add up, especially when you're trying to be compatible with people or people around you. Make sure your values add up. Yes, we both may like to get money, but at the same time, you may like to spend a lot. I may like to save. So our values don't add up. You understand what I'm saying? So how could two walk together unless they agree? You got to agree. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of things, that you got to really take into account. But I just gave you some of the key pointers to focus on. Again, your living quarters, employment, which comes along with the health insurance benefits. You can establish your bank account and try to build your credit up. These are some of the things, and then later on might come to the investing or if you want to do entrepreneurship. But also, the ultimate point that we mentioned first was it starts with you. The change is going to start with you. Ain't going to change with nobody else. We can't change anybody. We can't change anybody. Nobody can change anybody. It's up to the person to change. Always remember that. I try to tell people that all the time. It's up to the person. Don't compare yourself to nobody. Don't compare yourself to me. I'm nobody. I'm just me. You may say, well, no. You work on yourself. Yes, I can give you guidance and pointers and certain things, and way to do things. Whether you take that advice or not, that's totally on you. If you don't want to take certain advices, hey, that's out of my hands. You can get mad all you want, whatever the case may be. Again, what works for you doesn't work for me, and what works for me may not work for you. So stop comparing yourself to people. Never compare yourself, because you never know what it took for a person to get what they have, and you don't know what they're doing to keep that stuff. Very important. Very important factors. But without further ado, it's your host, Keenan Hudson, here with the Reentry Connect podcast. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I just had to let y'all know on some of those key pointers. But without further ado, we're going to be tuning back in, around like in another 30 minutes with the round table. But before I go, I just want to give a shout out to One Day at a Time, Mel Wells at 215-226-7860. Mr. Mel Wells, we appreciate you. They got a nice organization with reentry support. They got actually recovery support. They got so many different things. Everybody, if y'all want to tune in, please feel free to hit that number up on the screen. Also, if you're in the Philadelphia area, shout out to gpstransportation.net, 215-774-9913. Yes, they have a great service, great 5-star service at that. If you look them up, they travel all over, especially in the tri-state. You have wheelchair accessory. If you need your family to get to a hospital appointment, if you need a party bus, feel free, contact them. Any type of transport, they're there and available. Mention the Reentry Connect podcast, Keenan Hudson. You'll be sure to get a special rate. Without further ado, I'm not going to hold everybody too long. I appreciate everybody tuning in. But if you like what you heard, please like, share, subscribe. Let them know. That is very important. It's very important that you deal with those key pointers, especially to sustain a good life. All right? So without further ado, everybody take care, and y'all be well. Be safe. Blessings.